Hello everyone, welcome to AITech1.com, an online training and consulting company where we empower individuals like you to unlock their full potential and achieve their goals. I'm thrilled to introduce myself. My name is Sumit and I'm a Salesforce subject matter expert with AITech1.com with a passion for education and commitment to lifelong learning. I'm here with my new tutorial in Salesforce development, and the topic for today is Salesforce Code Builder. I will be going to show you that how do we set up Salesforce Code Builder in Salesforce. So Salesforce Code Builder is a developer's productivity tool. Those who are already working in a Salesforce development, they might be using Visual Studio Code in order to develop the LWC components or in order to develop other functionalities like triggers, lighting components, classes, Visual Force pages, Apex classes, and so on. So Salesforce has introduced a new product called Salesforce Code Builder. This is an app available, and without installing this application on our system, we can use Salesforce Code Builder in order to design and basically design and develop and components. And not only in order to design and develop component, but it also helps in order to deploy the component, deploy the uh, deploy the objects from one org to another. So let me show you how do we set up and configure Salesforce Code Builder in the Salesforce environment, and how do we use that. So in order to do this, what I've done, I'm using two Salesforce environment. One I will consider as a source, and the a second one I will consider as a target. So first of all, let me show you that how do I install the Salesforce tab or the Salesforce Code Builder in my source app. So this is my source Salesforce platform, and here I'm going to set up the Salesforce Code Builder. And in order to do this, I'm going to visit App Exchange. So I'll open Visit App Exchange, and within App Exchange, I will look for app, and in apps, either you can search or when you scroll down, you'll find out Salesforce Code Builder, this one, Code Builder beta version. So I'm going to install it right now. So let's see this. What is a code builder? So code builder is a modern web-based development environment optimized for Salesforce that empower team to build how they want from where they, and it's a free of cost. So I'm going to get it now. I click on get it now, open login screen, because I need to install this in the, so this is my source environment. As you can see, this is my source Salesforce platform source environment. So I'm going to install it here only. Install in my org, and I read the permission and confirm and install. I'm going to make it available for admins only right now. So I click on install, and yes, I give permission, continue, install and granting access to admins. So it will take a couple of minutes to set up to complete the installation. So you can see, I've received a message. This app is taking a long time to install. You will receive an email. So I say, okay, done. And it will take few minutes. So just in case if you feel like that it has not yet installed, you can click on it again. Actually, once the installation is done, I'll receive an email in order to verify whether the package has been installed or not. In Quick Find, I will look for installed packages and I'll just cross check that. I just check for installed packages, and in when I click on install packages, as you can see, the code builder installed successfully. That's the code builder. Here it is. So that means the code builder has been installed successfully. And now let's have a look. How do we configure the code builder? So the code builder has installed successfully. Now it's time to set up the code builder. How do we set up the code builder? Let's check it out. So in order to set up code builder, I am going to search. So in app launcher, I just look for code builder and click on code builder because we have installed it, but now it's time to configure the code builder. So it will launch code builder dashboard, and in this code builder dashboard, I say get started. Click on get started. New project name. So I just write here. Let's say test proj. Project type will be standard. Next, connect a development org. So here I need to provide the credentials. So that's my source credentials. So username and password. That's my source credentials. And the code builder is asking for permission. So I give permission. I give allow. And you can see it says connect to an org for environment. So I click on next. Now here I have to provide the connection org. I need to provide the org area. So what I have done, I'm going to prefer the source domain name. That's my source domain name. Or if you are not familiar with that, you can copy it from there. That's my source domain name. This. So I'm just going to provide the same domain name here. That's my source domain. As you can see, I've already copied it earlier and pasted and click on create. And it will be setting up the environment. And once the environment is set up, I will be going to launch the environment. So it may take few minutes. So I click on launch, and you can see the code builder is going to launch in a new tab. Now, once the code builder will be launched, I'll just give you a quick walkthrough from the code builder that how the will get familiar with the code builder, that how the code builder works and what are the various options we have in code builder. So I'm going to give you a quick overview about it. No, as you can see, the code builder is starting up. It will take a couple of minutes because we'll be setting it up very first time. So it may take a couple of minutes, few minutes. So have patience and please wait for that. So you can see my code builder has been configured successfully. You can see some few commands. So these commands are similar to the similar commands which you use in Visual Studio Code. And as you can see, we have the options in order to install the extensions. And there's a command palette in order to launch. So it's a you can say it's a cloud version of your Visual Studio Code. Now, basically, what I'm going to do is, first of all, if you'll see, you will notice that you will get the version where we have connected. That's the org which we connected. There's a sidebar. It contains the different views to assist you while working on your project. For example, I can see the Explorer view in this example, and it lists the file in the project structure in our project. There's an activity bar. This activity bar it located on the left side, and it contains the iconic buttons to switch between different views. There's a panel also. If you look at the panel, when we launch this, there's a panel in order to show the output, and there's one status bar. This is status bar. Whenever it displays the information about the open project and the files we are going to edit. Now the next step is we are going to browse to our org, and in order to do that, I'm going to click on the cloud icon here, org browser, and when I click on org browser, you will be able to see when I click on org browser, now we'll be able to see the org metadata in the org browser. So the instance which I'm going to use right now in this instance, there's one application called there's a custom application called recruitment application, and within this recruitment application there are custom objects like position object and other. There's a one position object. If I look at the position object, if I scroll down, I can see that position object. See that. Uh, if you're not able to see that, what you have to do, you have to refresh this and it will list out. So as you can see, there's an object we created an application. This is the custom application position HR recruitment custom application, and there's a position object. I would like to access this position object. So as you can see, the custom object under custom object will get the all the object names we have, and along with that, we'll be getting the position object. There's a position object. Not only this, if we look at the object names, so as you can see in the objects, we get the other objects also like account object. And what we can do, we can say retrieve source from org. So I'm going to do one thing. I'm going to click on retrieve source from org for the account object. And I'm going to do the same process for the position object. And I can see that's a output. We can see the panel. Here you can see the panel. And at the same process, I'm going to do for the position. So on position also, I just click retrieve source from the org. And once the process will be completed, I would be able to see these objects metadata from the Explorer. So I click on Explorer, Force app, and objects. And within objects, I can see two objects, position and accounts. And when I click on positions, I will be able to see the fields, whatever field. So all the fields are listed out, custom fields. In same manner, for the account object, I'm able to list out all the fields. So like this way, we will be able to preview the metadata for our object. In order to test the SOQL, if I want to test the SOQL builder in Salesforce, so that in the code builder, that also I can do. And in order to do that, I would like to test this SOQL builder. I would like to write the SOQL query. For this, I click on command palette, and in command palette, I type sfdx colon create query in SOQL Builder. So I click on create query in SOQL Builder and I will be going to load a query. So for example, I'm going to load a query for account object. Let's check it out. So search for account object, account and fields. I would like to display account name, account type, account industry and account annual revenue. And when I run query, it will list me the records. See, they're so cool. And we can export that in a CSV or in a JSON. So this SOQL query, it gives us to quickly explore the data. We can download it. Now it's time to retrieve and deploy the metadata using Code Builder. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to save that. And as you can see, I have already retrieved this position object from the uh, connected org. Now my objective is to deploy this position object into a different org. So as you can see, I have noted down the source and the target org. This is the source org which contains the position object, and this is my target org which does not have the position object. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to deploy this object from the source from the source to the target. And in order to do this, I click on okay. And how do I do that? In order to do this, I am going to I'm going to use command palette. So I click on command palette. I click on command palette and SFDX authorize at org project default. And here I have to provide the org alias. So the org alias is the domain. So this is my target. Okay, this will be the domain name for the target org. And in order to check it, so let's do one thing. Let's quickly try login first. So let me check out. So this is my login with a different username. That's my credential. That's my credential. And I'm going to validate the domain name. So let's check my domain. Let's check the domain name for this. What's the domain? And here, my domain. This will, so I'm going to fetch the domain name from the target org. And this is the domain. So I'll copy this domain name. Actually, that's the same, but let's paste it one. That's perfect. And yes, I'm going to log out because I will be going to log in from there. So I log out. Now I'll get back to the source one where the code builder has been installed, and now it's time to connect to authorize an org project default. And here I enter the target org domain name and hit enter. When you hit enter, it will start authorizing. And in order to do this, I copy this code and paste it here. I'm going to paste it here and enter. Do one thing, just copy the code which is generated. So I copy and paste this code. We'll use it later on as on required. Click on connect, and I need to provide the credential to sign in. That's the username and password, and we have to enter the username and password for the target org. Enter. It will ask for permission. Allow. And once the permission is done, you will see the authorization will successful. Right now, the authorization is not successful. It's still waiting for the authorized and org successfully ran. That means the authorization is successful, and also you can see the domain has been changed. The org has been changed, and okay, the org has been changed, and you can see there are two domains. There are two org configured, one source and one target. That's why I copied the domain name. That's the source. This one is the target. And as you can see that we have successfully signed in into the target org. Now it's time to deploy. And in order to do that, we have to simply do one thing. I right click on the position and say deploy source to org. But before we deploy, let's quickly check it out that let's check it out. Do we have really that position object exists there or not? Okay, in the target one. So this is my target org, and in this target org, I'll navigate the object manager, and I'm going to validate that position object. And you can see the position object is okay. This is the target one. Yeah, position object. Okay, so let me do one thing. Let me delete this, and I'm going to create a. Yeah, I created this earlier, so now you can see we don't have any position. Search for position, and there is no object name exists. Position. And now I'm going to deploy that. So I just visit back to the target to the source one and right click, and I just say deploy source to org. And when I begin the deployment, so what happens? It will deploy the project. It will create the project along with fields. So deploy source to org, the process begins, and you can see the process completed successfully, created the object and the fields. Let's check it out. And when I refresh, when I search for position, refresh, and I look for the position of. So you can see the position object created successfully. Let me open this position object. And when I open this object, fields and relationship, you can see it added all the fields. These are the same fields we have in our source Salesforce org. So like this way, we can successfully deploy an object from one org to another, from source to target. We can do a lot of things with this. We can not only this, we can create lightning components. We can create LWC web components. We can create triggers, classes, applications. So whatever functionalities we can perform by using Visual Studio Code, all the operations we can perform by using Code Builder. So, but like as I mentioned, this Code Builder will be useful because it would be helpful because we don't have to set up anything on our local drive. That's all in this video. If you have any questions, you can come up with your questions. Don't forget to subscribe and like our channel. You are feel free to contact us on info@aitechphone.com. You can visit our website to get more updates on the courses we are offering, or you can reach out to us on the given numbers. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day. Goodbye.